Namaste, Swagatam. Welcome to a conversation with Srimati Madhavi Latha Kompella garu, Chairperson Virinchi Hospitals and a patron of this grand yajna, Bharata Bhagya Samriddhi Yagna, being held at Sitaram Bagh Mandir, Mallepalli, Hyderabad. This yajna is for the benefit of Bharat, for the growth, peace and prosperity of our country and for its citizens. Namaste Andy. Welcome. How long has this yajna been going on, Andy? How many Ritviks are here and what is this yajna for?
This yajna is planned for 45 days, Tali. The Sankalpam has been for 45 days and there are about 42 Ritviks and they have come from the entire country from different places like Bihar, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and from Andhra and Telangana. And the reason behind this Mahayajna is Bharata Bhagya Samriddhi. So Bhagyam, according to us, in a higher definition is everything. But when you go to a common man and layman, they would only always think monetary benefit. No, it's not just a monetary benefit because a monetary benefit doesn't lead us anywhere. When we call Bhagya Samriddhi, it has to be 360 degrees of development for the country. For instance, defense, agriculture, education, health, Sanatana Dharma, and peace, prosperity, your situation, position economically and financially at international level, natural resources, many such things. And we cannot have one and remove the other. This is asking for this. The Almighty is this Mahayajna.
And how did you conceive? When did you conceive of this? Because this is not just Vaidika yajna. You have all the jatis participating, different pujas being conducted, a lot of folk arts happening, and I see that everybody is here and it is in the older part of the city. So when and how did you conceive of this?
I would say that, in my regular ritual and philosophical life, I do Mahadevi's Anushthan every day. And it is not that I'm very creative. I would do like any bhakta. Once at a situation, a couple of months before, I have got the thought of taking the country into the Bhagya Samriddhi, into the prosperity of all-round prosperity direction. Then a question arose in me that, why do we only use the Vedic rituals and procedures only when we are in pain? Why not something can be done asking for the overall development of this country and there is not really any problem or a trouble or a pain within us? For that matter, once this idea came into me as a Sankalpam, it started, Sankalpam is like a seed. Then you never know how fast the seedling turns into a sapling and then turns into a plant and a tree. Well, this was happening. It was also the Sankalpam that had come during the prayers that it has to be started in the oldest part of the country, also of the state called the Old City, which is also termed as Hyderabad or Bhagyanagar. Because always, a devotee thinks that God blesses the people who are rich. Probably that's the reason Mother Goddess had given this very, very beautiful thread kind of a thought to me that, no, I would want to go to my most beloved bhaktas, who are in the old city part of this country and who are not wealthy when it comes to economically, but they're wealthy with bhakti and devotion, and so innocent they are and ignorant also they are. Maybe the mother has chosen the place, the mother and father, the Almighty of this Prakriti, very beautifully have chosen to show people that we always love who are sincere.
So is this going to be a yearly event or a biannual event? How are you thinking in the future about
Such a great question posted. When I started, I would just say that, I didn't have a direction. It was like the road untrodden, the path, which way back I read in my school days, an English poem. That is a road that nobody has taken. As I've taken this path, I'm very egoistic, but I have no other option. I have to keep going. In the midst of this Mahayajna, somewhere on the 25th day, I would say that I have got a very beautiful Puna Sankalpam that, it is just a warm-up Mahayajna. Because no country with a 130 crore population can just prosper within 45 days. She said that even a small, sport that you would want to play, you do a warm-up exercises.
Yes.
How would you think that in 45 days you can get everything? She said, your blood is so selfish. So I said, no, this has to be the event that has to happen. Probably till she gives me the thought that now you would not require, and I think that day will come or not, I don't know. So keeping this in our thoughts because it was pinching me that November 27th is a Kartika Purnami. It's the midst of Kartika Mass. My Shiva, whom I really love, my beloved. Other 15 days, Arvind you not left. It was pricking me. The thought was pricking me. Then immediately, probably, we also got sankalpam that no, from 28th onwards, for another 6 months.
For 6 months, not
6
45 days.
Not 45 days. Now we would do it in Jubilee Hills.
Where in Jubilee?
In Jubilee Hills, it's just adjacent lane of checkpost, so that it is approachable to that part of the city. Now after 6 months, where would we go? Maybe in that Mahayagna, the mother goddess, and the father would give us the next.
Okay. So in the Jubilee Hills one, which is for 6 months, from 28th November, you're going to have a similar yagna of 42 rituals, same rituals or different set of rituals?
No, in entire same set of rituals because they've been there for 45 days.
But they're from all over the country. They've left their family, so they'll continue to stay for 6 months more?
Yeah, this time what we thought, we also have to understand their, situation and their family bonds also. So now we have made, instead of 45 rituals, we have cut it short. And we are now making 2 set of rituals. One set of rituals is stay for 15 days and then leave back to their families. Other set of 15 days rituals come back again. All said and done, this is the life and we have a bond with our own families and we need to understand. This 45 days has given us a phenomenal platform to understand how to go about for the next 6 months.
Beautiful. I just want to understand your journey. I mean, you've managed to start this grand yagna and it's going to go on, seems like continuously in Bhagyanagara. It's not going to stop, Bhagwan willing. So what is your journey to this? Being a chairperson of Virinchi and being able to do something big like this?
As a chairperson of Virinchi, my experiences have been very sweet and very bitter, very sour during the COVID times. Maybe God made me to see very close and through very transparent layers what life is all about, how it goes through, in the lives of a poor, in the life of a middle class, a higher middle class, a rich, for that matter, people, who have their own abilities to have a word, can put a word in the society. I mean to say power-wise. Maybe she has put me to the better of box. She opened me to the better of box. Which for outsiders is pain, but for me is a truth of life. It did have its own impact on me, the way I think. I'm basically a very aggressive and a very active person, but then she channelized my entire energies, put me to a much calmer levels to explain me, to tell me that this is what is a naked truth. This is how people are. People who are, can be taken care, who needs to be taken care, but people they are who cannot even reach to the sources and resources. And on the other side, there are people who have their own power which is being misused. She didn't make me feel anger towards the situations, rather she made me to become more wiser and calmer, giving me these experiences. So, in this Mahayagna, if we can see, while we are also asking for the prosperity of the country, for the first time we are also conducting 36 types of homams, abhishekams and kalyanams for the common man. Because this is what exactly she made me learn in life, that any institution, while it is for the larger cause, it is also for a common man's single level of cause. Okay? Macro and micro. When both come together, like Bhumi and Bhumi Vasulu, that is the land and the citizens, people, when it comes together only, it becomes a complete country. Children in these generations are being brought up in a very tensed family.
I was coming to that. So nuclear families, exactly. You hit the nail on the head. Without grandparents, there is no cultural transfer. And kids have so much void in their lives nowadays because of the pressures outside. There's no place where they're accepted easily like grandparents do. There's no storytelling. What is the remedy for this?
If I post a statement on this, maybe all the women will agitate on me. I'll tell you reason why. Tell me now where woman wants to retire. Only when retire you become a grandparent.
Yes.
So then no woman wants to get retired. No woman wants to feel I am a grandmother. Still grandmother age women want to be well dressed, go for very nice parties. Grandmother has to come from here. It has to come from here that now I would want to lift a baby. I would want to, what I could not do with my children. Let me give one more opportunity to my own self to do it with my grandchildren. Now what do I tell? There are phenomenal serials coming up in the TV. Our grandfathers and grandmothers are engrossed seeing those things. If they come from little traditional families, they don't go out. Otherwise, they're engaged. They engage in so many activities. They go for, I don't
Much
know.
more busier than they were when they were actually working in parents.
Exactly, because now they think that
World tour, India tour.
they go on a lot of tours and they go for a lot of other activities. They now need recognition. They feel that now my children's role is done. They got married. I have nothing to do with them. You tell me, if I have to question you back, tell me the concept of delivery. Today, woman is getting delivered and immediately is going back to the job. In previous days, for 6 months or 3 months, girl is to stay back in native place with mother. That's how hormones is to slowly calm down. That's the reason postpartum blues, even we not knowing what postpartum blues is, the traditional life systems have handled it.
Yes.
Today, no diet, they get up very quickly, they run rush back it. You don't give mother's milk, and thank God to the Western culture who has given you how to pump a breast milk.
Coming to all that,
Even tomorrow if a bill comes, says that this is as good as breast milk, I'm sure the families would make a powder of it, put it in a water and put it in the bottle feeder and give that.
because they are busy wanting to go out.
Recognition, self-recognition. Where are we all sudden running? When we are running, we are forgetting this just one life. And when we are running, we are forgetting that we have lost 50 to 60 years behind us.
Coming to that, when do you inculcate this concept? So you're saying that we are running, we want recognition. That is because we have this Namaskara, which we want to feed into. So when do we introduce the Hindu concepts or Bhagavan, Ishwara to calm down or slow down? At what age? Because it's not easy nowadays. Initially there was Vriddha Vyavahara, we had grandparents. Kids would learn by just watching, by being in the house. Now you have OTTs, you have serials, the kids are watching that. So they learn competition, greed, envy, the values we don't want them to learn. So at what age do you think is the right age for us to teach Shastra or for the children to learn?
What age was Prahalada when he learned Shastra? From the womb.
Yes.
Now I'll tell you a vicious cycle. Earlier it was this way that children were not much educated. I'm talking about 70, 80, 100 years back. They were huge families. And somehow suddenly they started realizing after Western influence that because of only when you have nuclear families you can get your children well educated. So the moment they started having nuclear families, the children, they started making them get educated in a very high level. Now at that level, when they wanted them to get educated, and a situation that they just don't have to think for a minute for the monetary or financial issues. Why this monetary and financial issues came? As science and technology started growing, the luxuries, and equipments on luxury started moving forward because they never had refrigerators, they never had televisions. All these things are expensive. To buy them, you need money. So the money game because of the science and technology getting into our luxury life has actually changed the whole perspective. Now what happened? Then they went all the way sending children to abroad because they started counting the currency form. Now you imagine you are sending away your child from your warmth so away to abroad, and there you are making them get exposed to a life where it only matters as you and nothing else. Now you already cut with a nuclear family a shot, then grandparents used to cry. When suddenly nuclear families came, then these poor grandparents, I should say very frankly, they wanted to show and explain these people that no, what you are running is not the right direction. But the parents' generation there has suffered that they didn't study well because of the huge families. So they gave a new kind of thought process to their children. Now these children, when they went to abroad, they saw that I in them. Now this led to their parents sending them to old age homes. See, you see the cycle. Now after a set of number of years, when old people have seen that they are getting into old age homes, now they have decided that okay, we should not be dependent on our children. The next generations have learned. So what have they done? Grandparent chodo bas. Children also after age, they don't come back to you. These are the people who have learned from their parents. So they started becoming independent. That's the reason even after 60 and 70 you don't see people getting retired. And they still accumulate because we need
they
to
feel the kids won't take care of them, they'll send them to old age homes. So
they
you might
may
as well
not
look after
express it outside openly, but they all believe that no, we need to secure ourselves. Now you see what happened.
them. Vicious cycle.
They have got into this vicious cycle. Once they've
Lot
got
of
into
insecurity because of
In a-
small seed we're talking about.
in this all process, even till today, if you go to a couple who is between 40 to 50 age, you ask if they are doing job. how would you plan? How did you plan your rest of your life? I am so sure they tell 5 things. How to get my daughters married. This is an amount I've kept, but I want them to be educated. You never know what will happen to them. This is a sentence all parents say. But this is negativity.
It's a lot of negativity.
What if something happens in that in-laws place? She should be able to stand her own legs and do job. That is how the mother has in her own mind, because she has not seen security for her own self. Now, second thing, to get them educated, they need again, because no mother and parent is interested to put children from the day one, sit them, give them education, which they have to earn by themselves, so they buy education. They pay and they are making these private colleges live long.
Yes.
Everlasting live long.
A lot of colonial education, not our Shastra or by the
Shastra, you leave it, my dear. Today they do not even have time to make the child sit and learn and get deeper into the conceptual knowledge of colonial education itself. And they do not want to learn maths perfectly, they don't want to learn physics perfectly.
All on top.
It's okay. Entrance exam, okay, now let's pay something, donation, and put them into
Or
something.
they can become influencers.
Now look at this. This is how it is. Now the third is that how do we buy a bare minimum jewelry so that you are not questioned in relatives or the public way.
Have some
Basic things. Finished. Now how about these relatives? There was a very smart. They keep on checking on you. What same jewelry you had, same saree you wore, same blouse you wear. Imagine what's happening. Then this many years we stayed in a rented house. Now we have a own house. That's the calculation. And the fifth, last is, what is it we've kept for ourselves in case of our health and any issues?
That's accumulation, constant insecurity and accumulation. That is why at Brihat we believe that culture should inform public policy. So thank you so much, Andy. Before I let you go, because you sing beautifully and I know you conduct bhajans in the evening here at the Yagnashala. So could we have a small bhajan? Maybe we'll do call and response. You say a line, we'll repeat.
Oh sure, definitely.
Short bhajan, we can all do that.
Shambho Magadeva Samba Shiva Shiva Shambho Magadeva Samba Shiva Shambho Magadeva Samba Shiva Shiva Shambho Magadeva Samba Shiva Samba Shiva Samba Shiva Samba Shiva Samba Shiva Shiva Samba Shiva Samba Shiva Samba Shiva Shiva Samba Shiva